Hey guys, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Was a Villain. This is part 7. So, in the last video, Izuku passed his hero exam with Ochako and defeated Bakugo and Ida, and then basically told off All Might. So, let's get into the latest one. In this one, I'll basically skip the whole choosing a class representative thing at the class rep as usual and just move to the USJ attack. So let's do this. As everyone prepares to get on the bus, they still talk about everyone else's quirks, about how their personalities, and how they would be famous as heroes. Izuku doesn't really care too much about fame and fortune as a hero. If he was still a hero, if he still wanted to be one, he would only care about helping and saving people. But he's not. So to him, this conversation means nothing. As they arrive to the USJ, they arrive by 13, telling them their missions and their assignments. But while talking, Kirigiri's warp gate opens as many villains and Shigaraki in the Nomu arrive from there. As Aizawa and 13 prepare, Aizawa rushes down to fight all the villains that have just arrived. But both Bakugo, Kirishima basically rush at Kirigiri just like in canon. Izuku also rushes them too, because which was he planning anyway? Because he wanted to speak with them and tell them about All Might not being there. This goes as planned, and Izuku gets some time to speak with both Kirigiri and Shigaraki, going back through the gate. Izuku explains everything to both of them, that All Might hasn't arrived, and that he most likely will be here in such a short time. Shigaraki, getting a little annoyed and irritated as hell knowing this, starts to get mad. As Izuku wishes that he could have known this ahead of time and told them to plan this beforehand. However, Konagiri basically tells Shigaraki to calm down for a bit and said that it couldn't have been helped, and that we arrived too soon. Soon after, Shigaraki calms down and says that, well, if we're gonna have to wait for All Might, then we can at least kill some of his students in the process. Izuku, a little bit worried, and actually asked his master to not do such a thing just yet. I have a plan that I want to enact in the future, and I think killing all the heroes now is just going to cause a problem for me. Shigaraki feels a little irritated again, but he at least listens to his little servant and abides by it. Izuku thanks him and goes through the warp gate. After this conversation, he arrives with Tsuyu and Mineta, just like in canon, in the water area. They count both Tsuyu. Tsuyu was worried about Izuku, saying that wondering where he's been, as he said that, I just got here, I don't know what you mean, trying to cover it up. Tsuyu feels a little bit suspicious, but just chalks it off as villains being villains and all that. So, they also are surrounded by tons of villains in the boat area. However, they start talking about their quirks, abilities, and skills. And soon after, Izuku comes up with a plan to beat the villains and escape from the area as soon as possible. After this, they begin. Izuku grabs onto both Tsuyu and Mineta, begins creating creating wings from Blackout, and fly as high as he could. In an area like this, he could have just escaped without trying, but he wanted to show on how powerful he is. So he creates a giant spear of Blackout, and throws the huge orb into the water, sucking up all the villains that are inside of it, and then creating a huge explosion that spits out all the villains as all three of them go back to the entrance, and soon they see Aizawa going against all the villains and almost beating every single one of them down like it's nothing. Soon after, he goes straight for Shigaraki. However, the Nomu stops him and soon beats the ever-loving tar out of him. Izuku wanted to go, but Tsuyu stopped him, believing that we can't, and saying that they'll get hurt. Izuku basically saying he doesn't care. He doesn't want to see even if his teacher is his enemy and he can't stand him, he doesn't want to see him get hurt. Just at least for now. So he rushes as soon as possible before the Nomu starts to deal some serious damage to him like in canon. And he released a powerful blast at the Nomu. Shigaraki gets annoyed once more at Izuku doing this, but realizes that he has to be their little spy. So he just allows it to go on and tries acting like he doesn't even know him. Izuku promises that he would protect his teacher and his classmates no matter what. But after saying that, All Might shows up with an angry look to him, saying that I am here. Izuku actually seems a little bit terrified because he never seen All Might actually angry before. Soon after, All Might defeats a couple of the villains and before heading straight for the Nomu as they both head to another area in the USJ. Soon after, Bakugo, Kirishima, and even Todoroki show up and see that All Might just finally arrived. Izuku also heading to where the Nomu is, alongside Shigaraki and Konagiri. So, as both the Nomu and All Might start battling out, Izuku comes down and sees, and as All Might tells him to stay back, young Midoriya, I can handle this myself. Izuku, hearing those words, gets him really, really pissed off and tells him to shut up, All Might. I won't let you look down upon me. As he heads straight for the Nomu at full speed, using enhanced body and Blackout at the same time. Doing this does deal the Nomu some damage, but remember, this is the same Nomu with shock absorption and was made to beat All Might. He tries his best to give it everything he's got. He creating weapons and even dealing punches and kicks so devastating, pushing his body to plus its limits. Soon after, the Nomu grabs Izuku's head and begins trying to crush it. Shigaraki, seeing this, he wanted to stop it beforehand, but after, Izuku getting truly angry beyond limits, grabs the Nomu's arms and slams it to the ground, creating a point-blank blast to its face, and soon throwing it in the upper half of the USJ, and then shooting such a powerful blast, he starts to call it a special move, dark evisceration. So much power coming from Izuku shoots the Nomu up out of the USJ, and then out of eyesight. Soon after, Izuku is basically pushed beyond his limit and begins to smile as Blackout as blackout swarms all over his body, looking menacing and completely with a creepy smile, staring straight at All Might and Bakugo, Kirishima, and Todoroki. As Shigaraki sees that both the Nomu is gone, both Kunigiri and Shigaraki leave and head back to their hideout. All Might goes after them, but soon after is stopped when hearing that all the other teachers finally arrived. After all that, Izuku is basically confronted by everyone in Class 1A because they saw all of it, seeing on how powerful he truly is. Bakugo being infuriated, and Todoroki actually interested on how how he was able to become that powerful, and starts thinking to himself. And that ends this. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any ideas or want to say what you thought, please leave a comment below, and also like this video. Also subscribe if you want to see my other videos as well. So that said, this is Liamuki signing out. Later.